Okay guys, so I wanted to make this video for you and I thought what a great way to demonstrate one of the main ways that it's super easy to stay skinny in Mexico. So as you can probably tell, I am sweating my life away, okay? So I'm going to talk about that, but I'm also going to talk about some of the biggest factors that help me lose and drop this weight even after age 40, even with a lot of stress. And it's something that honestly is available to anyone, anywhere, at any time. And that is through the power of the mind. Now, if you're like me, you've tried a lot of things for a long time and you're kind of annoyed by an answer like that. So trust me, I'm going to get to it. I'm not just going to say, think positive thoughts and imagine yourself as skinny. Like, no. I know when we've got addiction at play, that's just out the window, right? So, yeah, the first thing is consider where you live, right? Living in a hot country. So, I've lived in Mexico for the past 3 years. And prior to this, I lived in Montana for 1 year, in Canada after that. And, I was mostly naturally thin and kind of lanky. I call my physique as lanky with curves. And you girls who are close to 6 feet and who are like more fine boned, you know what I mean. I had a number of girlfriends back in Canada who had the same body structure, lanky like a moose, but with curves. Like, I don't know. Personally, I think these curves come from a lot of the hormones um, in the food that we're eating. But anyway, let me just get myself back on track here. So, you know, when it's so cold all the time, it's not natural. It's not natural for human beings. I mean, look. I mean, you can't see my legs, but we don't have hair. We don't have fur, okay, to protect us from the cold. I personally don't believe that humans should be living in these countries that don't have sun for 6 months, right? It makes you low on vitamin D. And in this hot country, I have access to lots of beautifully tasting, fresh, fairly priced, low cost fruits and vegetables on every corner. There are people shouting and walking up and down the street trying to sell food from the farmer's market, buy some blackberries, some raspberries, whatever. And the heat itself is an appetite suppressant. Okay, the constant sweating. People in North America, what are you guys doing? Hot yoga, 1 hour a day. Huh, how cute. How cute. In Mexico, I'm doing hot living, all day and sometimes all night. I have air conditioning in my bedroom now. I actually don't use it. I just try to use the natural, as natural as possible. But I'm sweating and feeling kind of gross all the time. So it's nice to kind of just let your body be constantly detoxing. That's essentially what's happening. And I've been detoxing my body naturally and easily melting off the weight for the past 3 years. And, I don't like to use chemicals like deodorants with aluminum in them. So all that I do, I don't have it here to show you, but I buy a natural um, deodorant with a really nice smell, like from sandalwood or something like that, and I mix it into a jar with a bit of coconut oil and baking soda so it stretches out. And I also like the baking soda because it like tones the skin in your underarms as a woman, so it always looks fresh. I don't know, we're like picky about little things like that sometimes as women, right? And yeah, so I have like no BO and it's natural. And then guess what I wear at night? A spray of magnesium spray. After your shower, spritz some magnesium spray on your underarms. Not if you shaved recently because it will sting really badly, but yeah. So, I always smell fresh, but I always feel kind of grimy. So I usually take 2 showers a day. Yeah. And all you people who are like, "Oh, I'm going to muscle it up and take a cold shower." Well, you take a cold shower here because like you need it to cool down, right? It's very refreshing, a wonderful feeling. So yeah. And so the second thing about how I lost weight and stay skinny here in Mexico is because, first of all, I don't have influences around me who are like encouraging me to do other things, right? And this is like one of the main things that our mind picks up on to sabotage ourselves. If you are overweight, I know that some people aren't gonna like this, but it's literally not your fault. I know it sounds absolutely crazy. People, whatever, some people might think it's outrageous. Did you see my cat? Missy. It's not your fault. It's, you know, the foods that we have are made to not be nutritious and to be addicting. They're designed in a lab. Like, how can we make this person miserable and make them want more of the food to feel better? But of course, the main thing is our mindset and our programming. Many of us have been programmed in our mind to destroy ourselves, to diminish ourselves, and we've also seen growing up in our environment the way that other people did it. And that to us became what is safe and what is normal. If I were to, how many of you out there right now are completely unaware of what it takes to lose weight, but you just can't? That's why you just can't do it. You don't know that you should eat fruits and vegetables, drink a lot of water, eat some lean meats, and go for more walks than usual. Like, you have no idea. It's a mystery to you. Like, no, you know, right? I used to know. I just didn't want to do it. I was stuck in the cycle, and I would sabotage myself a lot because this was before when I thought that I could solve my problems by letting a therapist get rich, right? That's what the therapist does, right? They're all gonna help you and talk about your childhood for 20 years straight, right? And what do? You get a lot of emotions brought up. You may have a bunch of realizations about how you're so messed up. You become aware of all your problems and everything else, but like, then what? Right? Then what? So I always knew that there had to be a solution. There had to be and by the way, I'm like, who can afford this? These therapists are costing between $200 and $400 a session, once a week, twice a week. And how many therapists are we going to need to treat the world, right? There needs to be solutions that are available for people to do on their own and to teach other people in their community, right? You come from this Western culture where it's like everything has to be certified. And if you don't go through the certifications, then it's invalid, right? That's what they did, right? The men, they went and they saw the women healing, providing solutions, solutions in nature. And what did they go do? Burn them all at the stake. And then go, we are the certified doctors now, and you have no other options, right? You all know that something about these doctors and this Western medicine has been feeling off, especially the past couple of years. They really played their hand and showed their true face for those of you who are still kind of in the dark, right? You go to a doctor if you need a stent in your heart, like I did, because of the wonderful genetics my parents gave me, right? You go to a doctor if you break something. But if you depressed, or you're overweight, or you have chronic problems, you go there, they're going to give you an antibiotic and a birth control and kick you out the door. You go, hey, doctor, I got a cough. Here's a birth control. Here's a Xanax. What? Right? So for me, that was what I found with self-hypnosis. And I could not get into meditation. I can now because I train my brain with self-hypnosis. It's very easy and wonderful for me to get into a hypnotic trance, or even to do a basic meditation where I'm relaxing and observing my own thoughts. And yeah, it's not your fault. Your brain is literally just a computer that is got a program put in it when you were very young, or by the people you are around now, or about your or the environment you grew up in, and it's just spitting out the results. And you are acting out the results of your program. So you're actually doing a really good job. All you need is a change of your program. just like that. And I used a self-hypnosis program to unlock 30 odd years of writer's block. I would never have believed it. I'm not going to say I would never have believed it, because I did kind of believe in it, but like not really. You know, I was taught, you know, the old fashioned thing, like you need to go to someone who's certified. You need to do it the long, hard way. That puts a lot of money in people's pockets. The solution can never be something free that you can do by yourself, right? So, anyway, um, yeah, when I was in grade 9, I had a teacher who at first was like really furious with me and accusing me of plagiarism and trying to embarrass me in front of the whole class and everything else. And then I went after and I was like, you know, I went to the writers conference for like high school kids when I was in grade 3, right? And I'm like, call my mom and ask if I plagiarized this, right? She taught me to read when I was 2 years old, right? And so then this teacher, he became my real champion, and he was like, I'm gonna help you get published and everything else. And then when I told my mom, I just saw the green flash in her eyes, you know. She was already, you know, using me for whatever she could, you know, money included. And she's like, yeah, you're gonna make a lot of money, you're gonna this and that. And just like something in my little childhood brain just like shut down. Like I can't let my mother sabotage and steal from my gift. And I don't want to be under that kind of pressure, because, you know, the way that my mother taught me was by yelling and screaming when I messed up. So, like, imagine telling a kid, yeah, we're going to get you published. You're going to write and submit it to a publisher. And you got your mom in the back, like, poor and, like, relying on you and, like, ready to yell and scream at you if you don't do it. And you're already, like, really stressed out and really overstimulated. And you're already parenting your 2 younger siblings. And you got a bunch of chronic illness problems, right? My brain did the best thing for me, which was sabotage me. And also because I think there was a part of me that recognized that my mother was in competition with me often. And she didn't want to see good things for me. Like, this was the case with many of my family and my friends growing up. I remember feeling nervous to tell them whenever good things happened to me. So sometimes I didn't. And I'm still kind of like that to this day. You know, people watch me on YouTube and they think they know everything going on in my life. And nope, I share what I want. And sometimes those things are really personal, but like there's a lot of really good things and a lot of really bad things that I just don't share with people. I don't know, I'm kind of private that way. And I think it's actually kind of a good thing, um, to a certain degree, because that's how most people in this world have been trained, right? They have been trained to cut the tall poppy, right? This is how the ones at the top prevent revolution. This is how they prevent people from sticking together. They go, oh, look at your neighbor. He got rich by taking money from you, right? And meanwhile, this is a politician sitting on a pile of cash that they did nothing to earn. They stole from the taxpayers and whatever else, right? They sit there and they go, look at your neighbor, look at your friend, look at your this and that. And you're like fighting with each other over red versus blue politics, whatever. When it's like, well, it's a diversion, like so many of these things. So I was talking with one of my self-sabotage students about this earlier today. I am. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to chime this in, like for anybody who's watching and thinking about it. You know, I used to be fat and chubby too. You can look at my old videos, you can see it on my face, right? My face looks much different now. I think it's becoming a bit more drawn, a bit more gaunt, maybe as I age, but I also think it's because of my diet, which, you know, a lot less inflammation, right? If you look at my face previously, it might look like a little bit chubbier, and it was, but it was also like just inflammation from like chemicals and stuff like that. So, yeah, I hope this helps. And yeah, I'm thinking about doing a retreat for people who want to experience what it's like to be hot and sweat all the time, right? That's a detox in itself. While enjoying the hot sun, while enjoying the beautiful nature that you can hear behind me. while enjoying beautiful fresh fruits and vegetables. You know, I can have a whole pineapple for, you know, breakfast and lunch. And you slice it open and it's like bright yellow and it's like warm from the sun still, and it has these enzymes and fiber, and it's just really delicious and wonderful. So thanks so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you care to, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Macy, where you going? You want to go inside? Macy. So cute.